The ancient forest pressed in, a suffocating blanket of gnarled branches and damp earth. Each step we took seemed to echo in the silence, the crunch of leaves underfoot a stark reminder of our intrusion. The air was thick with the scent of moss and decay, a heady mix that clung to our senses. It felt as though the forest was alive, watching us, waiting for us to make a wrong move. The deeper we ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became, as if the very trees were closing in on us, whispering secrets we were never meant to hear. Wind moaned through the trees, a chorus of whispers carrying secrets best left buried. The sound was eerie, almost human, as if the forest itself was trying to communicate with us. We could hear the rustling of leaves, the creaking of branches, and the occasional distant cry of an unknown creature. It was a symphony of the macabre, a haunting melody that set our nerves on edge. Every gust of wind seemed to carry with it a new tale of woe, a new warning of the dangers that lay ahead. We couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched, that unseen eyes were tracking our every move. Sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy, casting the forest floor in perpetual twilight. The few rays that did manage to break through were weak and feeble, doing little to dispel the gloom. Shadows danced around us, creating the illusion of movement where there was none. It was disorienting, making it difficult to tell where we were going or how far we had come. The forest seemed to stretch on endlessly, a labyrinth of trees and shadows that threatened to swallow us whole. We had to rely on our instincts, trusting that we were heading in the right direction, even though every step felt like a step deeper into the unknown. The air hung heavy, thick with the musk of decay and the promise of unseen horrors. The fog that rolled in only added to the sense of foreboding, obscuring our vision and making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. It was as if the forest was trying to hide something from us, something that we were not meant to find. The ground beneath our feet was soft and spongy, a testament to the years of decay that had accumulated. Every now and then, we would come across a patch of mushrooms or a cluster of strange, twisted plants, adding to the surreal and unsettling atmosphere. This was Blackwood Forest, a place where shadows moved with a life of their own and the night held its breath. It was a place of legend, a place that had inspired countless tales of terror and mystery. The locals spoke of it in hushed tones, warning outsiders to stay away. But we were drawn to it, compelled by a sense of adventure and a desire to uncover its secrets. The deeper we went, the more we realized that the stories were true. The forest was alive, and it did not take kindly to intruders. We could feel its presence all around us, a dark and malevolent force that seemed to be guiding our every step. This was where our story began, drawn to the heart of the woods by a legend whispered in hushed tones. We were a group of friends, each with our own reasons for venturing into the forest. Some of us were thrill-seekers, looking for the next big adventure. Others were skeptics, eager to debunk the myths and legends. But as we stood at the edge of the forest, staring into the darkness, we all felt a sense of trepidation. It was as if the forest was daring us to enter, challenging us to uncover its secrets. And so, with a mixture of excitement and fear, we took our first steps into the unknown. Blackwood Manor, a once grand estate now swallowed by the encroaching forest, stood as a monument to forgotten sins. The manor was a relic of a bygone era, its walls crumbling and its windows shattered. Vines and ivy had claimed the structure, weaving their way through the cracks and crevices. It was a haunting sight, a stark reminder of the passage of time and the inevitability of decay. As we approached the manor, we couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and dread. This was the heart of the legend, the place where it all began, and now it was up to us to uncover the truth. It was a place of whispers and shadows, home to a darkness that seeped into your bones and followed you home. The interior of the manor was just as eerie as the exterior, with long dark hallways and rooms filled with dust and cobwebs. Every step we took echoed through the empty halls, amplifying the sense of isolation. We could feel the weight of the past pressing down on us, the memories of those who had lived and died within these walls. It was as if the manor itself was alive, watching us, waiting for us to uncover its secrets. And as we explored, we couldn't shake the feeling that we were not alone. We were drawn to it, a group of friends seeking adventure, unaware of the horrors that awaited us. We had come to the forest in search of excitement, but what we found was something far more sinister. The forest and the manor were filled with secrets that were best left undisturbed. But it was too late to turn back now. We had crossed the threshold, and there was no escaping the darkness that awaited us. As we ventured deeper into the forest and the manor, we knew that our lives would never be the same again. The whispering woods had claimed us, and there was no going back. The manor loomed before us, a skeletal silhouette against the dying light, casting long shadows. Its windows were vacant eyes, staring out at the world with a cold, unsettling gaze, as if watching our every move. Broken gargoyles perched on the eaves, their expressions twisted into silent screams, frozen in time. As we approached, a low growl rumbled from within, a sound that seemed to vibrate in our very bones, chilling us to the core. The beast of Blackwood Manor was awake, its presence undeniable. We stepped cautiously inside, the floorboards groaning under our weight, each creak echoing in the silence. Dust motes danced in the stale air, swirling in the faint light filtering through cracks in the boarded windows, creating an eerie atmosphere. The growl came again, closer this time, followed by the unmistakable scrape of claws against stone. Panic tightened its grip on us. We were hunters, yes, but we had stumbled upon prey far more terrifying than we could have ever imagined. A flicker of white at the end of a darkened hallway caught our eye. It was as if the shadows themselves were playing tricks on us, but there was something undeniably real about that fleeting glimpse. The air grew colder, and a sense of unease settled over us. We knew we had to investigate further, even though every instinct screamed at us to turn back. A woman, ethereal and pale, drifted silently through the shadows. Her presence was both mesmerizing and terrifying, like a beautiful nightmare come to life. She seemed to glide rather than walk, her movements fluid and otherworldly. The silence was deafening, broken only by the faint rustle of her gown. Her long white gown flowed around her like mist, her face obscured by a veil. The veil added to her mystique, hiding her features and making her seem even more like a phantom. We couldn't see her eyes, but we could feel her gaze, piercing and sorrowful. It was as if she was searching for something or someone lost to time. She moved with an unsettling grace, her feet seeming not to touch the ground. It was as if she was floating, defying the laws of nature. Each step, or rather each glide, was deliberate and haunting. The way she moved was almost hypnotic, drawing us deeper into her world of shadows and whispers. This was no ordinary spectre. This was the lady in white linen, a harbinger of despair, a whisper of forgotten tragedy. Her very presence seemed to carry the weight of countless sorrows, and an aura of melancholy surrounded her. She was a living, or rather a haunting embodiment of grief and loss. We watched, transfixed as she glided through a wall, her form dissolving into the cold stone. It was as if the mansion itself was a part of her, and she a part of it. The boundaries between the physical and the spectral blurred, leaving us questioning the nature of reality. Was she a ghost, or was she something more? Who was this woman, and what was her connection to this cursed place? The mansion seemed to hold many secrets, and she was undoubtedly one of its most enigmatic. Her story was intertwined with the very fabric of the house, a tale of love, loss, and lingering spirits. As we ventured deeper into the mansion's labyrinthine corridors, her presence followed us like a chill wind. Every corner we turned, every shadow we passed seemed to whisper her name. The walls themselves seemed to breathe with her essence, and the air grew thick with the weight of her sorrow. She was a spectre, a memory, a warning. Her existence was a testament to the tragedies that had befallen this place, and perhaps a cautionary tale for those who dared to uncover its secrets. She was a guardian of the past, a sentinel of sorrow, and we were trapped in her story. The mansion's walls closed in around us, and the line between the living and the dead grew ever thinner. We were no longer mere observers. We had become a part of the haunting, entwined in the lady in white linen's eternal lament. The air crackled with an unseen energy as we stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the manor. The walls seemed to whisper secrets of a bygone era, their voices barely audible but undeniably present. Each step we took echoed through the vast emptiness, amplifying the sense of foreboding that hung thick in the air. The chamber was a relic of a time long forgotten, its purpose shrouded in mystery and darkness. A fire blazed in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The flickering flames seemed almost alive, their movements erratic and unpredictable. The warmth of the fire was a stark contrast to the cold, oppressive atmosphere that permeated the room. It was as if the fire was the only source of life in this desolate place, a beacon of hope in an otherwise hopeless situation. In the center of the room stood a stone altar, stained dark with what we could only pray was not blood. The altar was ancient, its surface worn and weathered by the passage of time. Dark stains marred its surface, their origins unknown but undoubtedly sinister. It was a place of power, a focal point for the dark energies that seemed to permeate the very air we breathe. This was a place of rituals, of sacrifices, a nexus of dark power. The walls were adorned with symbols and markings, their meanings lost to time, but their intent clear. This was a place where dark deeds were done, where the line between the living and the dead was blurred. It was a place of fear, of dread, a place where the very air seemed to pulse with malevolent intent. And it was here that our paths finally converged. We had been drawn to this place by forces beyond our understanding, our fates intertwined by the unseen hand of destiny. The convergence of our paths was no accident, but a carefully orchestrated event, a meeting of minds and souls in a place of darkness and despair. The beast, a grotesque amalgam of teeth and fur, lunged from the shadows, its eyes burning with primal hunger. It was a creature of nightmares, a manifestation of our deepest fears. Its movements were swift and deadly, its intent clear. It was a predator, and we were its prey. The air was thick with the scent of fear, our hearts pounding in our chests as we faced this monstrous foe. The lady in white linen stood between us, her form shimmering, her hands outstretched as if pleading for our souls. She was a spectral figure, a ghostly presence that seemed to hover between the realms of the living and the dead. Her eyes were filled with sorrow, her voice a haunting melody that echoed through the chamber. She was a guardian, a protector, but also a harbinger of doom. We were caught in a terrifying tableau, a nightmare brought to life. The scene was surreal, a twisted reflection of reality that defied logic and reason. We were paralyzed by fear, unable to move or speak, our minds struggling to comprehend the horrors that surrounded us. It was a moment of pure terror, a glimpse into the abyss that lay just beyond the veil of our understanding. Two horrors, intertwined, their fates and ours about to collide. The tension was palpable, the air thick with anticipation. It was a battle of wills, a clash of titans, each vying for dominance in a world of darkness and despair. The outcome was uncertain, the stakes impossibly high. In that moment, we knew that our lives would be forever changed, our destinies irrevocably altered by the events that were about to unfold.